Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about teenagers and their picky eating habits and what you can do as a parent to help them along on this journey. Hey, my name is Dr. Anna Maria Temple. I'm your holistic pediatrician on call. My specialty is eczema and my mission is to help inspire, educate, and empower families to raise healthy kids in this unhealthy world. Today's topic is teenagers. Last week we talked about toddlers and kids, and today is all about teens. Before we get into the nitty-gritty on how you can help your teenager make better health choices, let's talk about the teenage brain. Super important to understand what's going on in here so we know what's going on out here. During teenage years, the teen brain develops from the back to the front. In the middle is the amygdala. The amygdala is a part of the brain that wants junk, sugar, food coloring, video, sex, drugs, rock and roll. The prefrontal cortex up here is the part of the brain that's like, maybe we shouldn't have sex. Maybe we should use condoms. Maybe we should eat more vegetables and less food coloring. That part of the brain does not start developing in girls until between ages of 12 and 15, and in boys between 16 and 18. That's answering some things, right? It doesn't finish maturing in girls until ages 23 to 25, and in boys between 25 and 28. That should explain a whole lot more things. The teen brain is also wired, so it starts listening for the friends more than the parents. That's important because that begins the separation from the family unit. If our children prefrontal cortex was always thinking about the vegetables, worried about, that sounds reasonable, but they also then become worried about the world, and it's scary. Teenagers are supposed to take risks. They're supposed to try different things because that's how you leave the nest. Otherwise, they're with us until they're 50 years old. They are programmed to listen to their friends because they are going to start migrating away from the family. Also, you may have noticed that your teenager is a know-it-all. Also important in the separation because they have to feel like they know it all. They have to feel that their friends are right. They have to be able to take risks and try different things in order to separate. That becomes really stressful when it comes to the diet because what are they doing? They're eating the Doritos from their friends, the Gatorade from their friends, they're listening to their friends' nutrition advice, and so on and so forth. This could be very stressful. So what can you do as a parent? Couple things. Number one, family meals need to be of utmost importance. And I'm talking about family dinner. We have so much medical data to show that family dinner increases grade point average, decreases pregnancy, sex, drugs, alcohol use, decreases depression, anxiety, decreases bullying. I mean, I can go on. Unfortunately, in our busy society these days, we have no longer making the family mealtime a priority. This is the one time of the day we can all sit around at the table and talk to each other about our days. We teach our children manners. We teach them how to talk to other people and frankly, how to dig into some deeper discussions. At the family meals, there are no screens allowed ever. Not at a restaurant, not at a friend's house, not at my cousin's house, not when I'm present. My children are never allowed to have an electronic device at the mealtime. That is rude, and that also interferes with the children communicating with one another and also observing how everyone eats around the table. At the family meals, my dear parents, you also have to eat amazing, nutritious food. A lot of plants, because if our children don't listen to what we say, but they watch and copy everything we do. So for them to develop really good eating habits, they need to watch us eat and have really good eating habits without the phone present. We don't have the phone present, they don't have the phone present. The ideal amount of times, of course, is 7 times a week. But if you're not used to doing a meal time as a family, start with once a week. And it's not the teenager sitting at the counter eating while you're running around, either cooking other meals or cleaning the kitchen. We are all sitting together. Remember that food and meals are an experience, and our children's love language is quality time with their parents, even the prickly ones and the snarky ones. Their number one love language is quality time. So we want to sit down at the table where we relax, we take a load off, and we all focus on one another. We eat together. The kids don't start eating before mom sits down. Everyone waits and everyone eats together. If at the table, your teenager so much as says something rude and disrespectful, like, I don't like this, I don't want to eat this, they can be excused from the table while they're older. So you know what? They can just sit there. My bad. They can sit there, not eat anything, and they have to be involved in the family conversation. Because if you excuse a teenager from the table, they're going to happily go to their room and talk to their friends. So we're not going to do that. Teenagers sit at the table, and if they have rude manners, take their phone away for 24 hours. That's a confiscation. It takes a lot of time, energy, money to put a meal on the table. So do not accept rudeness, snarkiness about the family meal. Not allowed. Phone gone for 24 hours, and the teenagers need to sit at the table. They sit and talk to the family. Number 2, we are not going to make the teenager another meal. The teenager is also not making another meal. We're all sitting down at the table, eating together. Number 3, teenagers from early on, they should start helping you with grocery shopping. They should be able to pick out a good red pepper, what good apples are. They should know a Honey Crisp from a Granny Smith. They should know how to pick up a zucchini. We spend way too much effort treating our children like hotel guests. And then we're annoyed that we're doing everything, that we're always busy running around. We never have time to sit down for a second while our kids are living the dream. So when you're going to the grocery store, you're a teenager, I know they have homework to do. Oh no, they can be a productive member of the household. They come with you, they'll help you grocery strip cut in half. My kids would be in charge of either doing the produce and I would get the meats and the cold cuts, or vice versa. And that was just part of our routine. Now, it didn't happen every single time, but that they knew that they were expected to learn. And I'll tell you, spend the time in their early teen years when they get their driver's license, you can send them to the store and they can do proper grocery shopping because you've taught them for several years on how to do this. Number 4, teenagers should be helping you cook in the kitchen. They can certainly make a scrambled egg. They can make salad. And again, it's like, oh, but they have homework to do. Okay. Again, I have a full-time job. My husband has a full-time job. We have to come home. We have to take care of the house, the dog, and the other thing. They can come down, and when we cook together, we'll cut the cooking time in half. Also, teenagers who help grocery shop and who help cook in the kitchen eat more fruits and vegetables, and teenagers who just hang out in their room until, everything is served for them. Number 5, as the teenagers start hanging out with their friends more and going places, we give them an unlimited budget a lot of times. I'm sorry, why is that? So in our household, as a tip that you can take with you if you like, because of the entertainment budget, I know they have to go with friends sometimes, and they might not be old enough to have a job. And so what I usually do is they get $1 per year of age. So my 15-year-old gets $15 a week. That's not allowance. That's the entertainment. So if he wants to go to the movies with his girlfriend, that's what he uses. If he wants to go have lunch with his girlfriend, that's what he uses. My daughter wanted to buy gifts for her friends. That's what they use. They don't ask me for money anymore. It's going to make your life so much easier. Also, if they have an unlimited budget, then they're going to be going takeout and fast food all the time. So no unlimited budget. Even when they start driving, I can't tell you how many folks have their cards linked to their teenager's account because, in case they need gas, the child can pay for the gas with their debit card and they can give you the receipt and you'll reimburse them if they're driving the other siblings around. So make sure that now once they start working, that's their money, and then they could use that money to buy all the junk food that they think that is necessary, because you're not going to be able to control that money. However, don't give them an unlimited budget on your own credit card. Number 6, teenagers do not respond to Dictator. I'm a dictator when they're younger. As they get older, we have to actually become their consultant. So if they would like our opinion on what foods they should get and how they should eat, we are ready to give them our opinion. However, if they're sitting down and eating a bowl of cereal with a side of Gatorade and you're losing your mind, you're not going to say a word. You're just going to move on. First of all, you, the parent, are no longer purchasing Gatorade, things with food coloring, garbage things in your pantry. And I know they whine and cry, but as you may see in my toddler videos, no one cares about whining and crying. I know they're giant humans, but you in your house, if you want your children to eat a specific diet, those are the foods that you get. And we don't care that they're like, but our pantry doesn't have any good food, and only like Benjamin's house is really good food, and only William's house is good food. Because then you start feeling like a bad parent, because that their role is to try to manipulate you by making you feel like a bad parent. But remember, they're 15, you're likely 40, or 45. So you definitely don't have time for that. So do not let the teenager manipulate you. And even if they cry and whine, just go in your head, go giant toddler who has no right to tell me how to purchase the food. If that you guys are on the same page. Now we have to let go when they go to their friend's house. So in my house, they're expected to eat fruits and vegetables. They're expected to have snacks with clean ingredients. When they go to their friend's house and they eat Doritos, I'm not saying a word. And in fact, do you know that I have moms that make sure that tell me like, when Evan comes to my house, he always likes the Doritos. And I'm like, awesome. Because, other people like to make you feel bad for the choices they make in your house. And we're not going to care. It's totally cool. Number 7, we have to help them understand the connection between food and their health. So for example, in my house and in my clinic, when patients come in and they're like, my face is full of acne, and I'm like, sweet, what is your diet? And they'll often tell me that it's Gatorade and sugar and cereal and processed foods and whatever. And I'm like, great. Well, there's no cream that we can do until you change your diet. There's no supplement that we can do until you change your diet. And then they're stuck. I have headache, chronic headaches. I'm like, there's no medicine that's going to take care of your headache. There really is no medicine that's going to take the place of a good diet. We have to change the nutrition before we can talk about anything. I am fatigued and tired and exhausted. I don't have any solutions until you actually change your diet and change your lifestyle. We cannot give them a way out because they're always going to choose the easy way. They're always going to choose the pill. The adults in our country are all choosing the pill. So we need to teach them that until you take care of your body properly, we can help you. And that's what I do with my kids. And I was like, I know you have acne. You know what to do. I don't repeat myself. I'm like, you let me know when you're ready to make a change and I'll be here to guide you because I'm your assistant, not dictator. All my children had changed their diet because of acne and I didn't have to say anything. I kept it on the down low. Always encourage an open discussion so your child can come to you and like, well, I don't know why I'm not performing great in lacrosse. I'm not sure why I'm not improving in swimming. Okay, well, let's discuss. What do you think it could be? Even though I practice this and do this, I'm like, okay, well, have you considered the nutrition? And then that is your time that you can actually start educating your teenager on how food can help them be faster, stronger, clear skin, less headaches. But have them get to that decision because remember, when it becomes their idea, that's when they're going to make changes. If it's always your idea and you're trying to like always put your idea into their head, they're going to fight you back because their job is to fight you against you because they're trying to separate. So the harder you push, the more that they're going to pull back and refuse to listen to anything you do. And the more know-it-all they're going to become, which is going to be much more annoying. So then you're going to start yelling and then the cycle repeats itself. So I'm saying teenagers want to be appreciated, seen and heard. But make sure that whenever they make a great choice, you're always like fall over yourself with so excitement. Oh my God, you go to dinner and they choose an amazing meal off the menu and it's not chicken nuggets and French fries. Make a big, you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. What an amazing meal. That's fabulous. Oh gosh, your skin's gonna love it. Or I'm jealous of your order or whatever you want to say. Not just like, oh, I told you and I'm glad you finally, I can't believe it took this long for you to order that. We're not going to do any of that. You're just going to be like, oh my God, that is so amazing. And fab, you just notice it and you move on. I often tell my families, I'm like, please treat your teenagers like feral cats. The less attention and the less you're on top of them, the more they're going to come to you, ask you questions, want to be near you. The more you're on top of them, the more they're going to push you away. And my last tip, because I've lost complete track of what number we're on, is teenagers always go for the easiest, fastest route. Let me give you an example. When they come home from school, if they walk into the kitchen and there's a refrigerator, they never see the refrigerator. They don't have no idea what's in there. They can't see any food. They go right to the pantry where they can open up a bag and eat it. However, if you, the parent, we know they're coming home from school and you have cut up fruits and vegetables, like a little charcuterie platter sitting on the counter, 99% of the time, they're going to eat it because it is the fastest, easiest route. Oh, food right here. Oh, color, let me eat it before they get to the pantry. So even if they've gone to the pantry after your amazing smorgasbord that you've put together, you know that they fill their belly with lots of plants before they reach for the snack product. But if you cut up strawberries, you leave them in the fridge, even in a see-through container, it will mold. Cannot tell you how many times this has happened in clinic and in my own household until my husband and I were on the same page and he's like, oh my gosh, when we leave stuff on the counter, they eat it all. Always gets eaten, even by selective eater. 15-year-old used to be the pickiest of picky eaters. And with all the tips that I'm giving you today and the tips that I did in the toddler and younger children section, he's now broadened his horizon. We have no fights, no struggles, minimal struggles over dinners because I've stayed firm. We've always had family meals. He's expected to help with grocery shopping when he's not, he's currently rowing. When I'm at work and they're home, I do send messages for them to make a simple marinade or recipe. He is on a budget. I am an assistant to him rather than a dictator most days. Sometimes I'm not so good, but we're all on this journey and we're a work in progress. Anyway, I hope that this information was helpful. For more help with how to raise healthy kids in this unhealthy world, don't forget to grab a copy from Amazon. Subscribe to my channel. Leave me comments and suggestions so I can create content to decrease your anxiety and help your children live better. See you guys next time.